Oh, hello, hello, hello. Another Sunday, another chat, right?
Are we live? Oh my
Yes,
God,
we
we're
are.
live. I'm
I
not
said
even
hello.
ready. I'm not ready.
You didn't put your makeup on.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, slap some M&Ms on your face to make it a bit more
yeah.
pretty.
There we go.
Anyway, hello, people. If you ever gonna turn up, so, we'll
Hello.
see. Hello. So yeah, we're doing another chat. Luckily to us, we have time to do that. I'm glad. I always like this.
Mhm.
Therapy number 43, according to my numbers now.
43.
Yeah, but it's much longer than that. But since I named it
Yeah,
therapy, could you believe
yeah.
43 already has happened? So kind of
Well, I
ridiculous.
mean, it's really been since 2020, I would
Yeah,
say,
you
where it
think
was
so?
been consistent because it was
Oh,
pandemic time, right?
true. Yeah, you don't realize how long you go when you start chatting like
Yeah.
this, but it's like it's a very good feel when you, especially when you read and you want to share stuff. Did you have a chance to watch anything? I know you
Mm-mm.
haven't. Maybe probably had a
Diddly squat.
time.
This week was super busy at work, so no.
Yeah, look at you naming the Jeremy Clarkson's farm, Diddley Squat. Do you know
Sorry, say
his
that
farm?
again.
His farm's name, the Jeremy Clarkson has a farm. He has a show, and his farm's name is Diddley Squat.
No, really,
Yeah, and he has a shop called Diddley Squat as well.
hilarious.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it was like when I was like, maybe you should you referencing. I was like, oh,
No,
for the
no,
first
no,
time I know the
never
reference. I
knew it.
don't do reference like that well.
No,
Anyway, so I can I saw Howler Mouse was doing live about talking about Fantastic Four, but
yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
I didn't want to watch his too much because sometimes people's opinion comes in your head and then you
Yeah,
can't
right.
do it fresh your stick. So I had the chance to go yesterday to watch the
Nice.
Fantastic Four, and tell you one thing, I haven't been.
Hold on,
What's the
before you
last?
tell us one thing. How did Galactus look? That's the burning question in my mind. Was Galactus amazing or bunk?
Superb,
Yeah, really?
superb.
Well, that's good. Carry on.
He looked. I liked the way he looked. I like the color choices they used. I like the way they used the camera angles when the Galactus wasn't seen. I was a bit surprised the places he was in, because in comic books, as first Galactus I saw is like entity as bigger than whatever you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
He looked as huge, but he has this thing. But I'm not gonna say much because it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
So Silver Surfer part, by the way, I absolutely love the female part of Silver Surfer.
Mhm.
I think that kind of the dynamic between him and her and John Storm, yeah, right, his name.
Yeah.
No, Human Flash, whatever, the Human Torch.
Yeah, Human Torch.
Yeah, sorry, I just what didn't I just say Ghost Rider's name? Probably I did, because that's how I do things. Anyway, so I like that dynamic. It's great, but honestly, the way it started, the way they kind of like it kind of like gave you first opinions about Fantastic Four straight as a go. They give you like a lots of stuff happening about it, so you kind of got lost because you didn't realize like what is going on in this movie. But
Yeah.
what they did is they gave a lot of info for you, so it's very good for people who doesn't have a clue what the hell is going on in Fantastic Four. And they gave everything there, like almost like the beginning history of Fantastic Four with like Jack Kirby's era and Stan Lee's era, all the villains introduced, kind of thing, but not really. It's just kind of fantastic the way they managed it. Another thing I heard people complaining is short. I liked it. I honestly can't stand
I mean,
anymore.
isn't it like 2 hours long or something?
It is, but that because you have those ads at the beginning and trailers and
Right.
all that shabacle, it honestly doesn't
Yeah.
feel as 2 hours, so it doesn't feel as long. And the things going, I we had to basically, what a situation was, we took our son with us. Honestly, kids friendly throughout. There's no
Yeah, that's
problems.
good.
I mean, our kids watches more probably problematic stuff than what they showed in the movies. and whatever
Yeah.
rating they say like 12 years old in this country. It's like, really? Not really. You don't have to. There's nothing grotesque really. There's bad things happen, but now catastrophes in our world these days can see more grotesque things. What is the movie showing? Loved what they did for celebrating the comic book artist. The Jack Kirby-esque character was there. Okay, I'm not trying to spoil it, but it's really difficult to actually spot it. It's kind of fast. They provided quite a lot of information until the main story basically came into play. So Act 1 was more like introduction, and Act 2, let's say, was the story of the movie. I like the setting a lot. I think I am really like period kind of type ways, like they go back in time and they're supposed to be from that era when especially when you read the comic books of Fantastic Four beginnings, right, with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. It's basically almost to a T. Of course, not the ghetto. They don't look the way, the uniforms are quite different. I think they chose those uniforms from a newer version of Fantastic Four iterations from, there's so many writers. There's Mark Waid, there's Hickman, there's so many writers. John Byrne had like such a big run of Fantastic Four. And it was very exciting. And none of like cliches, kind of didn't feel like it. All the acting was great, in my opinion. Pedro Pascal, as what he's blown up into, becoming like, everywhere in your screens, and you're starting to get fed up of watching his face now. He was doing really good job. Honestly, as Reed Richards, you had like, he had the stakes. Oh, look, Donald Rex. Hello,
Donald Rex.
And you felt like like the stakes big, like you also felt like he's a bit cocky because his intelligence. But the dynamic between him and Sue was like, he's almost like, she's like, she knows exactly how he is. It's like, God forbid, like, you're not telling me that thing, I know exactly your how you click. She almost can read his brain kind of the way because of this behavior and stuff like that. I like the Thing. I like the way he was represented. They didn't have that kind of stupid thing of him being afraid of himself. He kind of showed that, but they didn't really concentrate. And the Human Torch, the actor was interesting as a choice. He's from the Stranger Things, my husband told me.
Oh, okay.
He is one of the, I don't know. Honestly, I have not watched Stranger.
Me neither.
I have not seen Stranger Things I probably watched first season and I switched off from that. So he's good. I've seen this actor before. He's in English as well. I don't know his name. Vanessa Kirby, so Sue Richards. I know her because she's from the Queen TV show. So she was Queen's sister as an actress. She did like really good job, and she's becoming really fantastic. I mean, she's good in actress in general, in my opinion. So yeah, everything looked good. To be honest, I love the car. I love the robot. Very surprised the way robot works, like a cassette player face.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's hilarious. Everything, and then there's also like, if you at least understand what Fantastic Four represents and what they need to do, kind of thing, it explained everything there. It's very easy. The one that they say is first steps because it shows all of the beginnings. Like you understand the premise why Fantastic Four exists. They show you the classic, shooting in the sky, but it explains to you that they went exploration, something really bad happens. They don't show that afterwards coming back. They don't do that. They're already saying it, and yeah, there you go, Mr. Govidal. Hello, I saw the film Friday.
Hello, Govidal.
She was vulnerable, intense, and relentless. Great piece of movement which she had. So very strong personality, Vanessa Kirby's in stuff like that.
Cool.
I like the actor of the Thing. Well, I mean, because he's in that CG mask, whatever, you can't really see his things. The only thing you see is those eyes, but you couldn't really. Oh, people cried. Yeah, there's a moment in there. People cried, but it's quite emotional. It's lots of things. It's very, as I say, it felt quick. And when the big thing came out, right, the purple guy, it was like, oh, finally, it's like huge.
Did his face like encompass the whole sky at one point, like, or did they sort of shrink him down? Because my whole thing was with the Eternals, I think it was. It was the one great scene where they had like the sky was filled with that thing, whatever it was called, because I don't know those comics, but I love the scale.
The scale was grand, but it wasn't on. That's why, like, I didn't want to say because I was surprised by him. He wasn't on in the sky. He was in his throne, right? Do you know the throne of the Galactus?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So he was there attached to it because he was still feeding. So when Fantastic Four got to see him in moments, he was still in the front, basically being fed. And
Sweet.
And then the only thing what they have changed, or I don't know how many iterations that happened in comic books, that they gonna she's pregnant when you saw probably a trailer. So Sue Richards is pregnant, and then you get to see the baby. They usually have twins, but they opted out to have only one child.
Right.
I don't know where that iteration comic books have happened, but I usually know that most of the time is twins. But I know I was always thinking, okay, what's going to happen to the child? Because in comic books, Reed Richards always does something to the child.
Yeah, right.
Tries to save it, but then ends up pushing him away in the future in comic books. I was like, then the child came out. I was like, oh my god! But then you find out before the child is born, you understand the premise, where they're going to take the child into, and interesting because I'm not sure if there's ever been that kind of thing I've read in Fantastic Four comic. And then extra scenes at the end of the movie, I didn't get fussed about. I'm not really fan of Dr. Doom thing, who is acting especially. I don't see him as that. I want to be a much bigger dude,
yeah, right,
I don't know what they're gonna do to him, but you see him as an Iron Man, and that's it, the cocky little douche, not seeing as a grand Dr. Doom in the robot mask.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just have this is my opinion. It
doesn't quite make sense to me either.
I don't know why they needed to. They have they have. I also heard that now Pedro Pascal is going to be the main face of the Marvel movie universe. He's the one who's going to be flashed every Robert Downey Jr. used to be. I think they're going to concentrate on Reed Richards is going to be almost basically a Pedro Pascal character, going to be faced everywhere. And everything, as I say, scenes, the locations, the movie set, the set of the streets, the locations where the building is, the people surrounding them, actors who's acting in there, just loved the way everything looked, just really stylistically beautiful. And it just feels, and I'm not sure what the soundtrack was, but I was kind of Fantastic Four theme song they used. I loved it. I was just almost going for it. Yeah. So my reactions, which is something I really experienced in Marvel movies. Well, there you go. I was say the overhanging thing about Galactus was always in the back of my mind, and I wanted to see how the Silver Surfer part was going. It wasn't as much. Silver Surfer wasn't in the movie as much as I was presuming it would be, but she is that Shabal Al, I think her name Shabal Al.
Yeah.
She has they flashed her backstory, how she became the Herald, and that was kind of interesting, intriguing, because I have actually quite a big run of Volume 3 of Silver Surfer, which I haven't really dived completely into it, but that was a female Herald as well in that run, so it's kind of intriguing. But it's really nothing you can question, because they really try to explain everything. So I highly recommend. You should go. You like Marvel movies?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to see it for sure.
Because if you like the Marvel movies, it's definitely one of the good ones.
I really like the cosmic stuff, right? So
yeah,
I'm hopeful that some of that is pretty fun, and I'm hoping that it opens up the door to getting more cosmic stories and actually getting a good Eternity story somewhere down the line. I think would be fantastic. But
so remember I told you about that Ironheart TV show?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing we did watch, actually. Me and my daughter watched it last weekend.
Yeah.
We binged the whole season.
Oh, so the moment when Mephisto's talking to her, right, in the supposed pizzeria, and that supposed and the way he was laughing because she called him a Dormammu or something, and he laughed at her face. So I don't know how Mephisto can be as grand as Dormammu is, because
Yeah, yeah.
in that sense, because I thought Dormammu is like almost greater god, like almost to a point of Galactus, maybe smaller than, I guess, or not? Am I wrong? Oh.
Galactus smaller than Dormammu? I'm not really sure. I don't know if I've ever really thought about it too hard, to be honest.
Because I was like,
I feel like
really,
Dormammu was like, this kind of eternal sort of god, but
yeah,
I mean, Galactus
exactly.
is literally the planet eater,
Yeah,
going around and
yeah.
eating planets.
Well,
Gore Vidal has the best comic shop, by the way. They do this often, renting out the
yeah,
theater. That's super cool.
yeah, lucky to have that kind of stuff. The Galactus Greater. Oh, there you go. Howler.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, there you are.
Who would win in a fight, Galactus or Dormammu? This
Oh.
is now we're really getting into nerd territory here.
Or Mephisto. What? So then, is Mephisto greater than Dormammu then?
I mean, it seems to me, again, like my lack of fucking knowledge. Let's just put that out there first. It feels to me like Mephisto would be way down below those two, like way down. He's, but
so Mephisto.
Again, I don't know.
So Mephisto is basically kind of devil thing and all that stuff.
That's what I've assumed he kind of was. Yeah, like the devil.
Supreme Leader.
Aunt May is Supreme Leader. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you guys, whoever is on chat, can you tell me which comic book is What If probably comic book if Aunt May became a herald of Galactus? Because I know there is existing in that. So Aunt May is a herald of Galactus.
Really?
And I know it did, but I don't know which comic book it came out in. Must be What If, maybe. Because that would be hilarious to read, because Galactus had how many heralds in existence? Quite a lot. I think a couple of females, that's for sure. One male, the main one, which we have, that Silver Surfer up here, Silver Age. Yeah, it was What If.
What If story. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Spider-Man's aunt is becoming a herald of Galactus.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Anyway, so definitely worth anybody to go to watch that Marvel movie. It seems to be great. Everything. Ooh.
Dormammu nearly beat Eternity. Yeah, I mean, but can you really beat Eternity? Eternity is always going to be there.
Yeah, you can't really.
It's in the name, after all. And it's just, and again, like for me, design is a big part of it. That's why I love the look of the character Kang. I love the idea and the look of Eternity. It's just such fantastic, like out there design. I just really enjoy it. I mean, I don't know how big of a fan I am of the Kang character in totality, but I love the looks of Kang. That's the one thing. Did Marvel ever do an Eternity type figure? That would be fucking cool. I wonder if that exists.
I don't know if it has. I know Galactus, definitely. I'm very jealous of Galactus. They made them ginormous. One of those Marvel, what do you call them?
Marvel Legends or whatever.
Yeah, Marvel. So yeah, they made them like proper, like the Doctor Strange, that thing I have, and you have those figures. So in proportion, so Galactus is like 5 times bigger.
Yeah, right.
So and then I heard, of course, in America, you could buy a bucket of the Galactus head as a popcorn thingy.
Yeah.
And that cost you like $100 or something, or maybe I'm wrong, but I heard that people like buying that out like crazy because it's humongous. Anyway, the voice of the Galactus, I know that the face. I can't tell you the name of the actor because I was like trying to like listen to understand, and then I saw his face and I knew the guy. I've seen him. You know where I've seen him? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the one. I don't know why, but it came in straight away. I guess I read in the news saying that Pirate Caribbean back and everybody's coming back.
Well, wait a sec.
The Elders of the Universe had to use the Infinity Stones to almost beat Galactus in 1987. Silver Surfer comic. Galactus and Eternity also talk to each other as equals with their pomp and circumstance. Wow. So you see? So surely what the hell Mephisto was doing in that pizzeria and telling he was laughing.
Oh, okay. Talk to each other's equals. That's cool. I'm just looking up the
name of the guy.
I want to see who did the voice.
Yeah. He kind of used his face and nose and stuff like that, I think, because I saw him in the kind of cast afterwards.
Galactus. Ralph Ineson. Oh, I
Mhm,
know this guy.
mhm.
Yeah, he was in The Witch. He played the father in The Witch.
If you say,
That's killer. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. He's got quite a voice, a very unique
yeah,
voice.
and there you go. So he's the voice of Galactus.
Hmm.
And then yeah, so the way they everything as the story itself, it was funny. The moments of the family is nice. Anyway, I can't tell you anymore. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'll definitely
Cool.
gonna rewatch when it's gonna come out in streaming media. That's for sure. I know some other
Mhm.
crazy people gonna go to watch in cinema again because there's some details you miss because there's lots of good moments for you as a fan of Fantastic Four. As I say, if you're a fan of Jack Kirby, if you're a fan of all the history of Fantastic Four, you're gonna get there. You're gonna receive it. It's the way they presented some of the stuff is kind of weird because they were just like chugging it out. But yeah. There you go. Mephisto's inconsistent in comics. In one story, he rules his realm as a demon barely able to handle Silver Surfer. Then in Spider-Man, he can alter reality. I see. So they can do anything they feel like doing it. I read Hickman's Fantastic Four run, and I still think to this day, even though as much as I love John Byrne's run of Fantastic Four, I really liked Hickman's Fantastic Four. And then in that Hickman's Fantastic Four, I hope I'm not mistaken, but they had twins. So two children, girl and
Yeah,
boy,
right.
and
Well,
they
when
also
I was reading FF
yeah.
and whatever the other one was, Fantastic Four. I don't know what I was. There was a couple that Allred
Mm,
was a part of, and there was twins in that as well
yeah,
too. So
yeah. So that's why I'm surprised how they got to the point. And Sue Richards honestly kicked the butt, and there was
amazing.
the most spectacular moment with for me. I really enjoyed it with Reed Richards and Galactus, which I'm not going to say what it is, but then if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So he wasn't really like the thing wasn't like he's funny. There was a moment where he's the famous phrase he has to say.
Clobbering time. Yeah.
Yeah, he hated in the movie. He absolutely hated that. This is
Yeah. Right.
cartoon. This is the only cartoon phrase. I'm not saying that. And everybody was giving him like shit for doing that. It's like, what is the time? What time it is? And he's like, I'm not doing that shit. What time it is? I was like, no, I'm doing that. And then his love life, I think they changed also. Because in a lot of FF, there is this blind lady. He's married. The thing.
Mhm.
I forgot the name of it now. Yeah. Oh, look, some have.
I mean, that's also cool, Gore Vidal. That's interesting because I wonder. I mean, you would probably know with your shop there, Gore, because I feel like you're pretty close with them. Is this? Would you say that this was a movie that brought more customers in looking for the comics of the movie, or has that been kind of standard in your experience with your comic shop? Every time a movie comes out, do they get some people coming in, and how many people are there? Because that's really good to know that there was people coming in looking for Fantastic Four comics.
One thing I did is after watching the movie, I was looking for action figures of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, yeah.
I want.
Got no
I
more room.
want.
There's
I
not
want.
any space for action figures on there.
No,
I
nothing.
guess you
There's,
put them on the ledge beside you.
yeah, maybe. But what I'm trying to say is, I wanted that car. I was like looking to see if they actually gonna make it, but they haven't made it. I don't think. I didn't see it.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely love that car. It looks like weird. It's the most weirdest thing but everything, whatever they were flying with it, and like this, it looks screams like almost, like they had they taken a bit of a Batmobile because they had this round window things, and then the front of the car was like those two mirrors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, okay, got it. Oh, when they reconnected.
Really, a scroll. Scrolls and time jumping.
Dude, scrolls and only scroll cows is the most thing I'm gonna talk about anytime scrolls mentioned. The best thing I've ever read. Yeah, Alicia Masters. She wasn't she a Inhuman, or wasn't he? Now I'm going mad.
No idea.
I'm not a. I don't have a
This is well
brain
above my
like
pay grade. All this conversation.
Tim is like
I know
that.
about booby comics and that sort of thing.
So, honestly, to say you haven't read much of Fantastic Four, right?
I haven't read very much. No, I've read bits and pieces here, and again, not because I didn't like it or anything. It's just
Mhm.
nothing I've really dived into, to be honest.
Oh, if you can get hold of John Byrne ones, I just
Mhm.
like the way it feels. I mean, you like Hickman's writing, don't you?
I do generally, yeah.
I think you definitely would be able to find that in a library, so you don't have to
Mhm.
invest. I highly recommend it. I mean, it just stuck with me.
Mhm.
That storyline and now, okay, now next movie we keep on saying, no, Crystal. Oh my God, you see, she did Johnny and a bit married and divorced. Quicksilver. Oh wow, jeez, complicated life they hold.
Mhm.
I just forgot what I was trying to say. Anyway, that's not important, I guess.
Fantastic Four, Hickman Library.
Anyway, I recommend going to read that. Secret Warriors as well is part of the whole Hickman's run, and
Yeah, right.
if you read that together, it goes really well.
Not all the time, but this film and Superman have done so. That's cool. Not crazy numbers, but it's apparent. I mean, any number I think is a good number. You know what I mean? Even if that number is very low, that's getting people interested. That's cool. Women
I have
particularly enjoyed both films, which is not always the case with superhero films. Yeah.
mm, I haven't watched Superman movie. Debating whether I'm gonna go. I mean, I had a chance to go into this one. I took it. Look,
I say wait until it's streaming. Honestly, I don't know if you need to see it in the theater. You can watch it on a TV at home.
I honestly
But again, just remember who you're talking to, right? So
yeah. I've by mistake I've heard a couple of reviews like snippets, and most
mhm.
of the time when I managed to catch on to it, it was like not really amazing. So interesting enough, but I'm very easy at movies. I don't have high like huge expectations because I know a
No,
lot of
either do I,
superhero.
especially for this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you have such expectations for like this one. I try to avoid as much as I possibly can. I didn't want to watch any trailers about it. I watched like 10 seconds of trailer of Fantastic Four. I saw the way they looked and I really liked that one. And then I switched
Mhm.
it off as soon as possible because honestly the trailers are the worst when it comes to that kind of things because it spoils a lot of stuff. And then I went to see it and I have my fresh opinion of that and I was excited. Honestly, I felt like, well, yeah, like I watched Marvel movie, like excitable and I want to know. So now what I wanted to say, I remember Avengers Doomsday. So is it comic book related storytelling, or they something they wrote before and you can read, or is it they something just came out and just pluck from comic books and they're gonna make a movie? Do you know anything about that?
I know nothing about it. No,
Because
zero.
the way they finished, they have extras. Oh, look, he liked
Yeah,
Superman.
and again, like don't take my word on anything like
No,
that.
no,
I
yeah,
just didn't love it that much. I enjoyed it. It was good enough,
yeah.
but I wasn't super crazy about it. But again, I like
Mhm.
boobs in comics, so don't take my opinion on anything.
Okay, now I need to research a little bit, so I'll be Superman cast. Sorry, I wanted to see film and the cast because I know the girl. Okay, Rachel Brosnan. So she has done this, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's where I know
Mm,
her from. That TV show. She was fantastic in it. So I
mm,
was
mhm,
excited just because of they had her as a Lois because it's a really good actress. She can do comedy, she can do crying, she can do all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
mhm.
So that's basically I was excited about. I think she's very nice as an actress. So I don't know how you felt as a Lois because that's the thing. Like,
I mean, she was good at it. I just don't know if they utilized her character the best. You know what I mean?
uh,
Like there
okay.
was a good scene between the two of them where she's giving an interview basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. It's literally early on in the movie. She interviews Superman, and it's a good scene. She does well in that, but I don't think she's played as strongly as she maybe could have.
Mm. Okay, so
Oh, right. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I've heard it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Perfect Days. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. It's interesting. Oh, it's on Disney. Oh, interesting. Okay, speculation is they're doing Secret War story. Oh, from the 2000 teens, but I'm not sure if they committed to that. After the Kang fiasco, they changed the course.
Yeah, and and that's the thing. I was kind of looking forward to the Kang stuff, but obviously with everything happening there and
Hmm.
yada yada yada,
But
it's unfortunate because I think again, like I want them to get more into the cosmic stuff because the stuff that I
yes,
know I enjoy, like the Doctor Strange and things like
mm,
that, I would love to see some of that, and that's why the idea of Galactus on the screen is
that's
exciting
crazy.
to me because
Yeah,
of the vastness, because it's
yeah,
opening up this world to the cosmic things and I think that stuff would be super fun. And I would love, again, it's all the CG and the way effects are nowadays. I
yeah.
would love to see them just go all out with those kind of characters. I think that would be a blast.
Mm. Also, there's Secret Wars from the 2000s, and so they are
Yeah, that
interesting
newer
there.
Secret Wars stuff. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So I heard the Kang stuff, like, so they were going away from the Kang because of the speculation of the actors extra, like whatever his life or whatever he's done or
Yeah.
whatever he's done. But then I heard that the Kang will partake, but not as the grand thing of the theme of the whole story. They wanted to plaster him right at the front, kind of being he's the guy, bad guy in a way. That's what I think I heard
Mhm.
rumors were. But
I mean,
I
that's what I thought too. But then I think because of all that stuff, they
yeah,
changed course and now they have Doctor Doom and things, right?
yeah.
Like, was kind of, yeah.
Mm. There's so much other good Doctor Doom stories that in not being part of a Secret Wars, that would be great in the
Mhm.
movies. But as I say, now with Robin Jr., for me, it's kind of spoiled. I don't know. I need to see it. I guess this is my opinion. I haven't seen him yet as a character, right? But
Mhm.
I don't see why you have to use the same actors, for the same
Mhm.
universe. Like, forget about it. You killed him. Let him be. Like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, bye bye. No, don't do the comic thing. We are living with comic stuff. It's fine. Oh,
Yeah. And that's a lot of people's opinion. Like I said, I love the design of him more than maybe the idea of it. The Kang stuff that I did read though, the little
yeah,
bit that I did read, I enjoyed it enough. But again, it's that comic thing of like
yeah.
different universes, the time travel. It just gets so convoluted that it just becomes pretty dull pretty fast.
Uh-huh. Gore.
Don't tell
Crazy Gore.
Kristen and Natalie. Yeah, okay, we won't tell him. We
Yeah,
won't say
we'll
anything.
scream from the rooftops that Gore would
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
Okay, so Gore, I presume you have watched The Queen then. So you saw Vanessa Kirby in there doing really good. It's a purple thigh high boots. That's the problem for him.
Yeah. See, I
Don't they?
love the purple thigh high boots. Hold on, I'm gonna get Kang right here. Hold on a
I
second.
have him in there as well. You can't see him. He's kind of in the shadows, like Kang should be. You can't see him on there. But yeah, I have the same
There
thing.
he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that face. Get out of town. Which way am I going? Oh, this way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculously good. I
Really good
love
figure.
it.
Yeah.
It's
One of
just
the.
kind of absurdity. Purple, green, and blue.
By the way, the Galactus eyes are superb, and the noise they make, oof,
Really?
love. I was like proper, like very. There's something about stuff like that, Anyway,
Mhm.
so okay, let's talk comics, right? So we have something to talk about.
Okay.
Do you want to kick off, or do you want me to kick off?
Yeah, sure.
You go. You go.
I'll kick it off.
Go shit.
So I talked about them last week, possibly, but I ended up going to pick up the 3 Fritz the Cat kind of comic strip books. So Fritz the No Good, Fritz Bugs Out, and the absolutely racist secret agent for the CIA. This one was ridiculous. It was, it was even hard to kind of like just get into it in any sort of way because it was just so ridiculous. There was one of the characters, one of the Chinese characters was called Stin Ki Chin Ki. So that's kind of the level of humor that was on effect. So this was my least favorite out of them. These other 2 are fantastic, and these are the strips that the Fritz the Cat first movie is based on because there's a lot in here that kind of come from those movies. So goddamn good. I love this format. It's from kind of late 1968, 1969 into
Mhm.
1972, I think
Hi.
is when these were released.
Bye
So
bye.
long, Tim. So it's Ballantine Books.
Mhm.
Just a really good way to kind of present these. This is all stuff that came out already in another format where it was all just kind of a regular book size that Fantagraphics is going to be doing a reprint of, or
Mhm.
collecting, I guess. Maybe not a reprint, but collecting them.
Mhm.
Apparently, they're doing a bunch of Robert Crumb related stuff, I think, this year and into next year.
Oh.
So these are 1972, first printing, June 1972. They're so great. I love his style at this point too, because some of it is a little rougher.
Mhm.
I love that, like, the borders are, a little rough. Things are a little sloppy. Like when you think of Crumb, oftentimes you associate Crumb with like really kind of hyper, maybe hyper realistic, but crosshatched to death, and it's an amazing style. But I like the kind of looseness of some of these, and it's just really entertaining. His dialogue is really entertaining in this. It's kind of making fun of everybody. It's making fun of like these college kids and their ideas of kind of how they're gonna start a revolution. Of course, Fritz has all his hangups with women. And yeah, it's so good. And there was so many times in this as I was reading it, it was hard not to hear the voices from the movie, because the Fritz the Cat movie was one of the movies I watched the most as a teenage stoner. I just loved that movie. I still love it.
Mhm.
So there was a lot in here where you could see they pulled directly from the comics for the movie itself. So we get the Crow characters here as well too. They
Oh
play a
wow.
big part in the movie as well. So really, really entertaining. That's the thickest of the three books too.
Mhm.
And this is just such a great illustration of Fritz. It's so well done. I never knew these existed. They are listed in the price guide, the Fogel's price guide.
Mhm.
This is kind of like the first one, I guess. It's Fritz. He's married, has a kid. He's on welfare, and he's going to try to he's got to get more checks from the welfare office, but they're going to cut him off because he doesn't have a job. So his wife kicks him out.
Yeah.
He goes back to his previous girlfriend named Winston. She eventually kicks him out. It's just him kind of partying and trying to
Mhm.
figure shit out as a little. He's kind of a, I don't know. He's kind of a no good loser, I guess, to some degree. But
Yeah.
it looks great. Like all of the panels look so good. This one is
Mhm.
probably a little sharper than the previous ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, really good stuff. And then notoriously, because of the movies,
Mhm.
he hated the movie so much that he killed off Fritz in the final kind of Fritz story, which I think happens in like People's Comics or something like that.
Oh wow.
So super good score on each of them. It has a little advertisement stamp or whatever to see the full length Fritz the Cat movie. So
Oh
I'm
no.
assuming that's why these got put out in this way at this time, as kind of like a promotion for the movie as well. So
Mhm.
I'd love to get the book, but honestly, reading them in this format was super cool. So yeah,
Well,
there you go.
I see how cool it's gonna be to store them now. Where are you gonna put those?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I have to lay them on top
Yeah.
somewhere that's kind of a flatter surface or whatever. But yeah,
It's kind
so
of a bubble.
really, really neat, man.
Yeah. So how did you manage to get hold of it? Is this the guy who had a
These are from the underground collection that the guy at Galaxy Comics bought. So the ones where I got that funny Aminals with the first mouse story in it, this was in that one of those boxes as well too. These three books.
Mm,
There's a couple of other things I wouldn't mind in there, but
yeah.
some of the prices were a little steep. These ones, they weren't cheap, but it was kind of on par with what I was seeing online.
Mhm.
Plus the bonus obviously is that I don't have to pay shipping because it's here. So
Yeah.
I got a better deal than I would have if I would have bought them online, basically.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
am gonna show, well, Tim is now gone, but it's because of this influence. I start reading this, the Yesterday Quest. He was talking about shooter Michelin Perez. Perez is in it, which I absolutely love. You see, he's done lots of stuff for Teen Titans, which I am actually been collecting quite a bit. I have not finished this at all. I just touched the surface, really, a couple of the. But it's like Avengers, the mightiest hero of mightiest heroes, and I forgot how Beast is basically used almost like to know how they like talk to, like it's like nothing, and he's the most cleverest of them all, really. And he keeps saying, "Why the hell you leave me alone?" And then they realizes because he has these abilities of climbing and crawling and getting into spaces where not all of them can do. So a part of Vision, like Vision is like, oh yeah, go this way. So he goes through the things, and there's people coming in. There's Watchtower in space, and of course, our Shield guy comes in and says like, oh come on, people, come here. There's some things going on, and they end up coming into station, which is in that nice, beautiful. Like I like you say, the space, and I like the way they drew space in that time. I think that fantastic. The attention to detail and everything was great. The cloud surfaces on the Earth almost looks like the clouds, like almost in the sky looking. Like you don't really see that stuff like that, but that's fantastic. So, and they end up having people coming from future, and we have Guardians of Galaxy of what they're supposed to be rather than the people we know in the movies. So this is the beginning theme of it. There's Starhawk in here, and there you go. You have Yondu looking like that, all charming
Crazy.
and young.
So crazy.
Yeah, so it's really cool. As I say, I've read a couple of it. I haven't even get to the quest because there's several things happens in here. There's the machine guy in this part as well in the storyline, which I absolutely loved. The floating heads keep on going strong in the comics, like you always do. And there's this like and there's this fashion show happening, and apparently what's her name? Janet Van Dyne Pym, who is doing fashion stuff, which I wasn't aware that she's in all fashion, like in fashion and stuff. Apparently she was. And then there's these dudes coming in to to rob the people, and of course wrong place, because Hank Pym is not a yellow suit in this iterations of Avengers, not as an Ant-Man or Giant Man. So there's lots of things happening in here. So it's a bit of a your brain waves needs to work. I heard also, do you know the Ant-Man movie? What's her name? She's from the Lost TV series. What's her name? The main chick, very famous.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So she retired from acting
because of whatever, the one that plays Wasp Woman.
Yeah. So she is the one who is supposed to be there. Our cinematic universe Wasp Woman, but the actress retired due to health problems. Also the old guy Douglas. What is his name? Douglas. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas is also retired from acting due to health reasons because he's like 80 something. Anyway, so yeah, George Perez is my very excited about that too, seeing him in doing Avengers, because I didn't, sometimes I don't realize when and that happens. So there's lots of things happen, lots of action. Thor doing his stuff, Beast, and all of it. They're trying to get into the grips with the bad guy who's basically doing time travel once again. He's trying to get rid of something so the Guardians of the Galaxy of the future can't be in present anymore. So they're kind of trying to get hold of him. And funny thing is, in here, Iron Man is hiding his identity. So you don't know that he is, oh my God, why am I always blanking the names of the characters? Iron Man's, what's his name? Tony Stark. There you go. Oh my God, that's so bad. So anyway, so they don't know, and they give bitching, and they actually having fights with Captain America because he's saying, "What the hell? You're always late." Like we never see you come in like last minute, because basically Tony Stark has to shoot away and then present himself as the Iron Man, and that becomes like quite a big of an issue. Captain America is like properly like pissed off with them, and they're bickering it. I mean, they always have bickered together, but they proper going at each other. Even Thor has to hold the Iron Man back, and he's like proper punching him. It's funny that the punch of the Captain America sounds like Kang.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a metallic sound. Yeah,
but that's the thing about the names and stuff. So there's also the cowboy character in here. Who she's going to be partaking, which I aware that Two Gun Kid, I think, is that what his name is?
Oh yeah.
So he's there in it. So I didn't realize that how he actually was part of this, like timeline and stuff. Like I thought he's just an offshoot because of westerns. They try to kind of get people reading Marvel comic books, even the Western style. Whoever gets into westerns, that's what I thought. And the Spider-Man comes into here for like a split minute because everybody's seeing some things happening in the sky, and like there's this like he's spider tingling and stuff like that. So it's very much a lot of action. It's definitely, you understand how easy, a lot of reading, but lots of actions you're reading, in the comic books in that era. I liked this particular page. I wanted to stop on that one. I really like the female males proportions and space in between. I find this very like eye appealing.
Yeah.
Very, very cool to see. And especially it's funny. So when you read digitally, everything pops so much because of the backlight.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It just pops everywhere. And you like, when you read your comic books, and especially if you're reading them at evening time and you have all those lights splashing on that page, it doesn't feel the same, like it's just so bold, and these colors, of course, they remind, just to look who's here.
There he is,
the charming
good doctor.
Yeah, and there's lots of things, and it's like, meanwhile in the Green Village, Sanctum Sanctumorium, and he's like feeling some things happening because there's a space as well, like this entity who's taking over Starhawk's personality completely. Like he killed him, so he needed to kill the guy in order to basically use him as a puppet. And he didn't realize it as well, that's this like, die Starhawk. And then how he completely in Silver Surfer like appears because, as I say, it's like this space thing happens. So he crumbles him to smithereens and brings him back to life. And says like, well, now you're going to be my eyes and ears, because he wants to know what's happening in there, because he's on the lookout for the guy who he wants to kill. So it's crazy. But yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah. So, and of course the famous villain pose of the Marvels, as far as every single side. Always, like Doctor Doom is always like sitting and wandering around in his chair and wondering what he's going to do next. Yeah. And then this extra story in between the stories. So yeah, another ones. Yeah, so that's how far I got to that.
Yeah, cool.
As I say, fantastic to read. Epics. I hear a lot of good stuff about DC stuff as well. DC Finest editions. Those, like they're not costing a fortune, but now you actually can read from like Superman, whatever you want, Wonder Woman, even the Strange. What is this? Not Strange. What I'm talking about?
Strange Adventures or something, or
no. I'm talking about those magical elements. Apparently, they have a plan for them to be in the things, but it depends when. I mean, metaphor. Oh my god, I can't say it.
Metamorpho.
Yes, Metamorpho. He has his own DC Finest, which is very obscure character to have. First of all, I don't know how many people are so very interested in that, but it's something that kind of character is being printed his own works, because it's really difficult to get hold of anything reprinted of those obscure characters, right? So they're getting a limelight, which is very exciting that DC actually going for that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it. I mean, that's why they bring characters back to some of these movies, I think, too, right? Like even if bit parts, and kind of do the reprints and get a couple extra bucks. So keeping with DC. Martian Manhunter, all in, absolute Martian Manhunter. So a couple of good news. They won an Eisner for the work on Zatanna. I didn't read much about it, so I don't know specifically who, if it was the whole creative team, if it was, I don't know who won. But before that announcement came out, there was also an announcement that DC is going to have this one go longer now. So because it's very popular, it's gonna get some more issues added onto it. I don't know how many, but it's gonna continue, which is super exciting. And this was probably one of the better issues. Like the whole run has been really great so far, but this is probably one of the better issues. This kind of like gives you a little more as to what's happening. And honestly, every single issue, there's different kind of qualities to it that I really love. This one, everybody's shadow is kind of taking on a life of their own, but it's so moody. It all takes place at night. So you get all these kind of like almost black light elements. There's some really good color palettes being used here. There's some good kind of panels being used here as well too. I'm really liking this, and I hope that this is the kind of start for a lot of work for Rodriguez, because his style is just, it's really incredible, and just the kind of shift. And again, like I've said before, his storytelling is just really nice. The stuff he chooses to show, the kind of angles that he chooses, just the layouts of the pages and things. It's really, really cool stuff. So this issue kind of continues where everything else was. People are going a bit crazy. People are getting pretty violent. Now there's been a power outage. Now their shadows are taking a life of their own, and people are doing bad things to other people, like this guy who's injecting poison into these treats to kind of put out in these stores for people to eat. So there's a lot of people doing some real evil deeds. This was the darkest page out of the entire series so far. It kind of shocked me, to be honest. It's this guy clearly killing his family and then killing himself, and they don't make it in time to kind of save him or whatever. So really dark stuff, even though it's very, very colorful. I don't know, man. Highly recommended. I loved the Zatanna book. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
There you go. I love the Zatanna book. It was really, really good. But this one is such a good read. And I would say, like, just check it out when it gets collected. I mean, look at these colors here. It's like a classic illustration kind of style, even though the subject matter is a little dark. Our main character has been kind of ambushed. He's been hit by an ambulance, and now they're deciding if they're going to do some amputation. So there's real dark elements in here that are happening, but so kind of cartoony and almost like not quite Darwin Cookie, but a little more along those lines of kind of artistic style with this one. So fun book, man. Really, really fun. And then, of course, we just get pummeled with Superman ads throughout this. And then there's a little preview of something called Worlds Collide, which I didn't read at the end. I didn't really find it that interesting, to be honest. So I skipped that. So I'm really happy that they're going to keep going with this. Like I said, I'm not sure how many more issues, but I'm glad that this is going to be around for a little while longer, because this is a real strong read, really fun.
I already saw the advertisement of the collected edition of that. That looked like quite nice, so it would be interesting to see that. Now it's interesting if they're gonna, how many issues they will go for, because if you have already produced, like, say, collected editions thing, so you can't just have, like, let's say they usually have deluxe editions for what they have more than 6, so it has to be 12 issues, right? Run to make a deluxe, right? So if you do the 12 issue deluxe, or I mean, at least you're advertising. So I don't know if it's already in production. I don't know how that kind of behind scenes work. But if they do that, so is it 12 more issues they're gonna come out with? Because
that'd be amazing.
It's great to have the expensive comic book coming out and people are continuously reading it.
Yeah,
because
totally.
Because now I don't know if it's you realize, but the fashion is to have $5 comic books out and about all the time now. Like, I didn't realize it for a while, but Turtles are $5 a pop.
Right, $4.99 or $5.99?
$4.99.
$4.99. Yeah, this one's $4.99 as well too. Yeah.
So I'm rounding it up. It's £5.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's lots of things, and I'm not happy about that, because that will basically push me away from single comic books, because my brain doesn't reason to have further amount, like having I don't have high pullers, but when I see how much I spend just for a couple of issues, it bothers my brain. So
totally.
I might be like, I'm really mindful to what I'm picking up and what it is. And I don't like that fashion. It came out with the issue 1. I was icky about that, but now they're doing it. If each issue is just like, it's becoming really, has to be blowing your socks off every single day.
Yeah, totally.
In a way to have that price tag. So one of them came out just recently, and I was very excited because I did read a trade. And this is a new issue, number one, for Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees, but Rite of Spring. And is as creepy as the first one was. It doesn't have as much murder. There is murder at stake. This is the murder she done to this poor guy. She basically split the guy in like pieces, honestly. You see that in the first page, and I was like, oh, am I deja vuing? But then we're seeing his sister, who is on a hunt to understand what happened to him, because she doesn't know if he's murdered. He's just missing. And she's an unrelenting woman who is trying to find what happened to her brother. It's really interesting, once again, to see such a child cartoony style. Like, really, you should, like, kids books are usually this kind of format, and you would think that you couldn't see the scary like a monster of the killer who's behind all of this. And this is becoming a bit more intriguing to see where he's going to take the story, because a person who was serial killer is using this, will be using this lady for her own advantage. To what point, we don't know. It kind of says that a lot of things in this cover, but it kind of gives you a background story about this lady we're following in the first issue. And she's the one who's looking for her brother, who's missing for a lot of time. She moved to an area closer where he used to live. She's starting to go into each precinct, basically pushing her face into them so they remember kind of like her, and looking for that person of her family member. And and she keeps on going to morgues to see other dead people and saying that this is not my brother. And she's struggling really, because it seems to be completely taken over, and to kind of like similarities of like crime stories. She goes into a public forum website where she's commenting and asking for help if maybe somebody has seen it and stuff like that. And of course, to her surprise, she gets a hint, and who gives her a hint is interesting as well. As I say, the main serial killer is a hinter, and blah blah blah. So it's intriguing. It has very good feeling, like it had before. I am now reading as a single format. Like, I'm trying to read as a single format. I really loved having the whole story in one chunk, because then I could just read the whole story and see where it goes. It's interesting to see my mind, how it's going to go with the extra informations, and how much that will be happy enough for me. But another thing is IW, and then at the back you have like 6 pages of advertising, which is boggles my mind. 6 pages. So he's advertising the creators. I understand who's creating this comic book, right? But then you have one, I don't care, whatever. That's whatever they're doing here. Then you have this. I also don't care, because IW is doing some other. They're trying to say they butt out, I guess, because of they having problems with surviving, basically. And then look, one more advertisement, and then another page, man. Honestly, so much, and I pay $5 for this, right? It bothers me. It does
totally. But I mean, at least they have it all at the end. That's the thing about reading these DC stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like all the advertisements that are in the middle of the book, I'd much rather have them all at the end. So I can just read the story, and then I usually just do a quick flip through the last few pages. But it is a lot for sure.
I haven't done research how long this is going to go. Is it going to be 6-issue storytelling, and then that we're going to go and that's it? I'm not sure. I haven't done research. Maybe I should have. But I really kind of, because I missed out on the first one, and I really like the storyline, as I say, collected edition. I was so curious to see, like in single format, how does that feel? And the art looks stunning, honestly. He has this unique watercoloring. Like, watercolors are becoming kind of another part of the, like, a lot of creators of comic books. Like, we have what is his name? The watercolors we like. Oh, names today.
Tyler Crook.
Yes, there you go, Tyler Crook. So he's the number one, which I absolutely love the work he does with the watercolors. He definitely looks like watercolors. I don't know if it's digital, because I know that digital has improved that much that you can't really know what's the watercolor, what isn't.
Mhm.
It does have a feel of that because, like the lines and stuff, but yeah, I might be mistaken. But technologies these days are so improving to the point where you I don't know where it's gonna stop the improvements, and your physical media will never go away. I know that for sure. It never
Mhm.
went for millennia like it, so I don't think it's gonna go now. But it's just intriguing how technology goes and just can pretend to be using oils or
Yeah,
watercolor
right.
or
Well, I
markers.
think I've told you before, like the
Yeah.
sickness, I thought she did it in pencil, and no, it's all digital. But it looks like pencils.
Because
It's amazing what you can do with it,
yeah,
right?
the
So
the brushes in these days, people basically the software you have these days is that you have you can make your own brushes. So you can take a picture of
right.
like a leaf, right? And that leaf can become your brush. Like it's
Hmm.
ridiculous stuff the technology can do these days. So it's
Hmm.
very exciting, right? Because that introduces. I heard another thing which is kind of funny. I'm not sure if it's true to a lot of people, but I heard a digital artist started to playing around with oil, no, in a digital format, right? And he liked it so much he went to actually draw in oil and to see how the feel of it is. He says completely different experiences, but he loves the texture like actual brush can give on a thing.
Hmm.
So sometimes people don't realize how intriguing it is actually to move those brushes on the
Yeah,
canvas
right.
and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff like
yeah. A totally different experience. Yeah.
that. Exactly. Okay, your turn.
Should we talk about this one?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. You go.
Talk about this
So
one.
I mean, I can.
Um, it's the last part of this storyline,
Yeah.
and it was a fucking tearjerker, I'll tell you that much. I choked up at the end. And then the little write up that he did about his brother and stuff,
Oh,
like,
that
man, oh
just
man.
destroyed me. And it was the last thing I
Oh,
always
you
read it.
haven't read it?
No, no, no. I read it. What I'm trying to say is I
Oh,
always read it at the end. I was
oh,
like,
I see.
oh, bummer. So I'm gonna be left with these feelings right at the end. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It's
very.
a great issue. And again, like, I don't know, man, it's every single time with this fucking book. Like
Yeah,
it, because the first part of the story was okay and everything. I
yeah.
wasn't necessarily
No,
loving it. But
no.
then this issue hits and it's like, oh my God, that
Yeah,
is such a good goddamn story. That is such a good
yeah.
two-part story. What a
Totally.
beautiful ending. What a touching fucking story, man. Like every single time he just manages to do something
Yeah.
that kind of, I don't know, maybe not always takes you by surprise because his characters are very kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of feeling to his storytelling, but
Gosh,
this
all the
one
pages.
especially I found just so moving, man. It's such a good, this was a fantastic issue, and I'm so glad I got this cover because I think it's really fitting considering what
Yeah,
the
me too.
story is about, and
I don't. It's too many covers to know which one. Oh, because you go to the comic book shop, you can pick, right?
yeah,
I don't. I get received by post, so I don't really. I usually pick up A covers. Like it's more a bit of a
yeah,
OCD comes to fruition for me now that it's all kind of the same. It's
yeah,
his,
yeah, yeah.
his covers, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, this is quite an intriguing story. Yeah, it's at the beginning of it, I wasn't feeling like, okay, that's too much talking kind of thing. Then action happens, like protecting the woman because the woman wasn't treated well, and the fight scene was a bit too fast. To be honest, I felt like it needed a little bit
Oh, really?
more,
I loved it.
a bit more in my mind. But I'm picking now.
Right.
Like it's not bad, but I'm just picky. Oh, but then right at the end, it's like, oh no, and you like,
I mean, I think that just to back up there for a sec, I think
yeah,
that fight scene was so good because it just shows these guys are just small time thugs, and it's like, no, 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 you're picking on the wrong, you're trying to pick a fight with the wrong fucking guys. These guys are gonna wipe the
mhm,
floor with you because I mean, even at the beginning, they're
yeah,
basically using the handle of their sword to kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
like
They're not
knock
using
the
this.
swords
Yeah,
out of
they're
their
not.
hand, just like, hey,
Yeah,
we're giving you one chance, but if you don't, if you go for that sword, I'm gonna kill you. Is
yeah,
basically what he
yeah,
says
yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
then just the way people get taken advantage of with religion and stuff, I thought that was a really nice touch as well.
Yeah.
Everybody's there selling water, they're selling tears of the statue and things like this, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody trying to pull their little cons at this little religious gathering when people are there and they're actually for real looking for some help because they're sick, they're dying, the kid can't walk, etc., etc. So these
Mhm.
people with very, very real kind of things happening to them, just getting taken advantage of left, right, and center, you know.
Yeah. It's a sad one, especially if you read the back matter about this brother and stuff. And
Mhm.
it really does. I didn't realize. Well, I didn't really do research, but didn't realize that he's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where he's been brought up and all that stuff. But like I know that there are lots of Japanese like heritage people that lives in Hawaii and stuff like that. So yeah,
Mhm.
and that's touching picture you have of him and his brother. So it's like,
Yeah, so good, man.
yeah, it's the extra matter. I was reading that once. I was like, oh, like you usually have one story, but then you turn the page and I was like, oh, there's another one. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, and I couldn't stop reading and it was sadder by the minute. I was like, oh, you're giving us a feels now. So
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
and
Yeah, so good. I loved it. It's I'm so glad I'm picking these up single issues.
yeah,
It's just really great to
I
read
wonder
them
what
this
he's
way.
gonna do next now because this is done already, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, we'll have to see.
let's
And I
hope.
mean, seriously, look how, like, going back to the number one of this 5-issue arc, like, just such a beautiful cover. So it's nice to have them because they'll be bagged like this, right? So
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
be the front side and that's the back side. Really, really, yeah, so good, man. I love it.
Very good. Okay. Do you want
What
to
else you
mention?
got?
Okay, let's talk about. I mean, you read it. Did you read it?
I did. I don't have it with me, but I did read it. Yep.
So the turtles. So Jason Aaron is going. Like always. Art is a killer in this one. Like now is different. The way I really like this motions of how he's using the fight scenes and stuff like that. I am excited to understand. But I didn't know what to think of this issue. I really enjoyed the backstory. I really enjoyed I know that they end up being captured. I was very surprised. So he was captured first, right? And Brothers
Yeah.
was going after. There's a scene of police in New York, and they go, and then you have them. You know what confused me is this scene. Is this like what they were and what they are now? Is that what you're trying to portray? Because this is how they kind of like came back to introduce to each other, because they keep on saying
Yeah.
in the storyline they trying to rediscover who they are and not being selfish enough anymore, and think like as one rather than as individuals, right? Is that what you got the same feel for that, right?
I did. Yeah, yeah, yes.
And I really like the art. I mean, he's getting better and better, and the turtle looks
It is really good. I
fantastic.
agree.
I want are we gonna do action figures of his art? Because this panel here, wow, right? How good it is, like screaming and is doing this stuff. This is interesting. Okay, now tell me what the hell with that red is now. Is it hinting Splinter is definitely coming out? Because
I
too
mean,
much
I
talking.
assume that it's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I've kind of thought that since the beginning, that somehow, some way, there's going to be some form of Splinter that comes back or something like that. I don't quite know what yet, but
It's also a very intriguing part where the man in power can do anything. Also, saying that
his
he has
words.
this. Yeah, he has this power of like the way he speaks and everybody does it to himself. So does that mean that Foot Clan has given him something also, or is it just established? This really scene of them sitting down in the court, I really liked it. Almost reminded me of Law and Order. But
Yeah, right.
turtles.
Yeah, yeah.
So it doesn't. I'm such a fan of the things, and of course, Donatello is deciding that he's going to be a representing, and he's not doing anything. That was hilarious. But I was like waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's representing himself, something is coming, and of course there is somebody's coming, and of course we have this great fight scene in the courthouse, and everybody's already deciding the fate of the turtles. Really good scenes. And then we have the end of it, which was fantastic as well. Did you like the end of this issue? Who appeared on the last page?
Remind me who appears on the last page. Show it again.
Spoil it. Okay, spoiler alert, people.
Yeah, spoil. That's okay. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Yes, I totally forgot for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and then another thing about. Look, mice is
You gotta make yourself big again.
Oh, you can't see the mice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's mice with her, mice with Casey, mice with
Hmm.
turtles. It's like, come
Hmm.
on. When I saw that panel, by the way, I was like, Ratatouille.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Can't stop. I watched that movie way too often. Like when
it's great.
my nephew was growing up, so he was one
I
of
mean,
his.
I'm curious what's going to happen next issue. This one was like half of it I thought was really good. The court stuff I'm not so sure about. I
Yeah.
don't really know what this angle is going to be, like with them defending themselves.
Yes.
I don't really know where it's going, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it also feels like, it's also a little bit of a worry of like, are you writing yourself into a corner where the kind of reveal or whatever, however it's going to wrap itself up is going to be not
Yeah.
as kind of gratifying? Because I imagine the next issue is going to wrap a lot of things up, is what my assumption is.
Mm.
It's all culminating to the next issue.
Maybe 2 issues, because let's say
Yeah.
12 issues like trade 6. So I think it's to have 2 more, because this is issue 10, right?
Hmm.
So you have. I could not make up what is that. So I realized there's this sign, okay, but I can't make up what sign it is. It's not like the tribe sign, is it? Because I can't even
Not
tell
sure.
to this day what is that
Hmm.
is, because they usually have some sort of sometimes clues given to us. And
Hmm.
while we're talking about what we both read the same, shall we talk about the big
Hmm.
one, the the
Oh, the
the
big one. The
yeah,
tome,
the
the
tome.
red and the
Yeah.
green.
Yes, mine is hardcover. Yours is the soft cover. I
Yep.
can tell you one thing, okay? I
Mhm.
wish comic books would be as good as these used to be.
Yeah.
It's like the way it reads,
Yeah.
it's flows, it's like continuous motion. It was the same when I was reading in singles. I was looking forward to see it. It was usually, I always say to myself, it's too short, I want more. Come on, when is the next one coming out? Now and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
reading in the big chunk, and you start reading it in like flowy motion, it just flows. And it's, you
Yep.
have, the only thing you have to worry about, which nothing to worry, I'm going to put my screen up so you can show it to you.
Hmm.
The only thing you have to see, the break of the story, which is actually quite fitting because not many of them doing that. I think it's really good that you do this. Is this? It's
Yeah.
next
I love
issue.
that.
I think it's really good because it gets your brain to understand, okay, we're just going, like a story by kind of story. Sometimes when it's continuous, you don't know when to stop yourself. And then you get
Hmm.
exhausted by reading I mean, it has to be blowing your socks off to continuously and don't notice that. But sometimes not everything collected works like that.
Hmm.
It's fantastic. So yeah, I can,
Honestly, it's
I
it's
can,
so goddamn good. And the one thing that impresses me, because I mean, I've never read the entire thing.
yeah.
So, but I have read the first 3 trade paperbacks. So the stuff
Okay.
I'm reading right now, I've already read once. And the
Mhm.
thing that's striking me on this read is that there's a lot of information, because I read the first basically 4 issues. I was trying to read the first 6 issues, but I
Yeah.
just didn't get a chance to. But even in those first 4 issues, if you really sit and think about it,
Yeah.
there is a lot of information coming at you, but not once does it feel overwhelming. Not once does it feel like you can't keep up.
Uh-huh.
Not once does it feel like, oh my God, just focus. It's so goddamn good. It's written so fucking well. The
Mhm.
art is beautiful in its kind of like simplicity. It's just such good storytelling. It's an interesting concept, even though
Mhm.
like I think
It's
that basic premise of somebody coming back to life may be a little kind of worn
yeah.
and old, but this one does it in a bit of a different way, because there's a lot more going. And the thing that I said the first time I read these is that it feels a lot like Love and Rockets, with like the natural
Mhm.
ability of conversation, the natural conversationality, I guess, if that's even a word, of the characters. Like they feel like real people, they feel like real conversations, they don't really feel forced. And then just the introduction of some of these characters, like the girl, is her name Zoe, the kid, is that the kid's name again? Like so good. Obviously I know a little bit, I don't know everything that you know because I've never read the whole thing, but I know enough to know that she's maybe not the best person in this, and just kind of her
Yeah.
little storyline as it's going.
Mhm.
Man, it's just, and every single issue at the end of it, you really are left with like, just want to read one more. Just, like the first
Yes.
4 didn't take me very
Yes.
much long, didn't take me very long to get into at all.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm super excited to kind of get into the rest of it, but the storytelling is just so easy. It's so nice.
The way they look at my pages, because it's all black for mine. You get
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
black pages in that. Yours is all
yeah.
white.
Mine as well too.
Oh yeah, it's blackish as well. Okay, it doesn't
Yeah,
see it as black as. Yeah, it's really nice.
yeah.
It stylistically, he's superb doing the story. Second one,
Hmm.
he's establishing the characters really well. Small, simplest things, right? You have your main character. She gets in trouble. She wakes up. She goes in, and then you get introduced to her aunt, who we realize that she doesn't have a parents, and the aunt is the only person she's relying
Yep.
on, right? And that conversation, her when she's like, "I'm in the morgue working, doing stuff," and then there's this voice at the back of me because she doesn't think that's her, because she doesn't look the same, right? Because of the injury she's sustained. That
Yeah.
into and because it's talking serious matter, but because the way he's using it, where people sometimes don't realize when bad things happen surrounding them, they don't want, your brain doesn't accept, because let's say she because she's working in the morgue, she's always working with dead people, so she always sees that and nobody's replying to her, so her brain works probably overtime and she starts talking to herself, right? Which we mostly do when you
Hmm.
do it something by yourself. And that kind of things works because you recognize it, right? And I really like um how she did not accept that point until she drove all the way to that location where she was buried, and then
Yeah,
she's like
yeah, yeah,
shocked,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And showed
absolutely
her.
perplexed,
Yeah,
like I don't know
yeah, yeah.
how, what, it's like the whole thing that was not a dream. She always tell, she has this notion where she's actually robotically driving the car and she's having this conversation. And I absolutely love this part of the Terry Moore's
Hmm.
work, and he does it all the time in this work. And the easiness, like you say, in conversation, every character you kind of start to care a lot about straight away,
Yeah.
right? Like Jet gets into, you don't realize how quickly, I didn't remember how Jet quickly gets basically plummeted to death, and then she wakes up, all right? And you're like,
Hmm.
what? I did, because I in my head, Jet, like, you start to talk to her like long before she gets into the accent, and
Hmm.
it happens pronto, like really fast. So
Yeah.
excited. Zoe, the way she is, like, I understand why she becomes such an evil little, devil and stuff like that, because the way what she's been used. But then you realize what, like, who's take over their body and how they're using that other person,
Hmm.
and then you realize what's the story going forward is going to happen. But yeah, and
Well, and that's the thing too. Like even after the first four issues, again, like there's enough of a story where yes, there's still a lot of mystery, but I think
yeah,
like choosing what's a mystery and how the story unfolds. Because
yeah,
even at the part that I'm on, I'm like 85 pages in or
yes,
whatever.
yes, yes, yes,
There's the snake coming into the person's mouth, and that kind of idea of taking
yes.
over a body and stuff is already
Mm,
introduced. It's like, oh, okay, so that's a big part of the mystery gone, but it
yes.
doesn't make the rest of the book any less intriguing. And again, that's 85 pages into
Mm,
500 pages or whatever, where it's like some other books, they would have that at like issue 10 or something, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Where it would really be a delay and a delay drawing everything out.
Mm,
His option of, I'm just going to tell you some stuff and then
mm,
we're going to go from there, because then we're going to get into the rest of the story and the relationships and the mystery.
yeah.
I was going to say something else that you triggered as well too, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it though.
One thing also, you understand how good of an artist he is when he has ability to portray emotions clearly, like
Mhm.
no guessing works. Person angry, for sure, you'll know that.
Mhm.
Distressed, happy, like surprised, that's a quality not everyone can portray. Also, I just looked at his, like, his hand drawings are superb, by the way.
Mhm.
And especially if you have a panel with just two hands, like showing whatever motion those hands are showing, he does it like it's supposed to be there, like every single line and detail, which is like, I admire, because I'm struggling big time with the hands drawing
hands
and
are
stuff
hands
like.
are tough, man.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I'm glad you're excited as I am. I really like that Jet stuff
Mhm.
happens, and when she ends up in the
The only
more.
thing that I remember what was the only thing, maybe I'm not confused about, the
What?
only thing that's kind of still a puzzle to me is
uh,
that I'm still unsure of why some people recognize her and other people don't. And I assume that that's something that's going to be talked about later, because I mean, it's not like her injuries are really disfiguring, like her aunt not recognizing her or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Like it's like, well, she's not that deformed, so that part of it is a little bit of a puzzle to me. Is it this kind of disassociation? I guess
Mm.
I don't quite understand what that's about. I imagine that something is going to become more clear, or maybe not, but
I don't know. I never thought about it. I now understand because I just read it like freshly in my mind, and I
yeah.
understand. I mean, I know that she has this bloodshot eyes, which is kind of stark look on
Bloodshot
her
eyes
face.
and mark on her neck, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and then they talk about her like pulse is not really there. It's kind of is,
yeah,
but it isn't. And then that she
like
doesn't.
1 beat per minute or something,
Yeah, and
bare
then
just enough to kind of keep her brain functioning or whatever.
exactly, and then she's more paler when usually the blood doesn't circulate in her body as
Yeah,
supposed to
right,
a white
right.
person. And then also, it's like she doesn't feel cold or anything on that point. So
Hmm.
there's maybe that point he's trying to say. I'm not really sure. I can't tell you
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
When we both finish reading it, we can digest a little bit more of it, and
Hmm.
that and
I mean,
say,
even that makes sense though, what you said, like
yeah,
the paleness,
because it looks
so it
like
would look
dead.
like someone that sort of looks like the person, but like
Yeah.
more like a doppelganger as opposed to the actual person.
Yeah, and then like you don't want to see the person kind of looking kind of dead-ish.
Dead, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe that's why he's talking. We haven't yet read about that, but you did read those first three. There's that moment with that old guy, and he has his wife in the house, dead
Yeah,
wife.
I vaguely remember it from the first 3 volumes. Yeah.
I because I read further than you did, and that is I thought I was like, remember how creepy that felt, and that feels as creepy as it was the first time I read it.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
portrayed that creepiness of that dude like proper, the weird looking smile,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it seems to be when he's drawing him, he kind of clicks into you, like closer to you, like almost to takes your personal space, and you're like, oh,
Hmm.
that's really odd, and then you, of course, see the that female on it. It does
Well,
kind
and I
of
think that's
yeah.
also something too, because his style isn't like, it's not really over stylized.
Mm-mm.
It's fairly, what I would say, and I don't mean this in a bad way. It's fairly kind of generic. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty plain and representative,
Yeah.
but still has this real good quality to it. Like it doesn't feel out of place.
Mm-hmm,
It feels exactly right. You know what I mean? But it's not over stylized and kind of hyper realistic or anything like that, right? It just feels like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's incredible. I'm so glad I got the omnibus. I'm so glad I finally got it.
So you got it like for a good price, right? That's why you got it anyway.
I think I got it for cover price is what I ended up getting it at, which was like
Oh,
$55 or something Canadian, which I was completely fine spending again, like, because I wanted this for quite a while. So I'm glad that I splurged.
so the you said you read first three volumes. So is that
I read
library?
the first 3 trade paperbacks, and then I gave them to my brother to
Oh,
take back to China to give to, because he sometimes helps like stock the library at other schools, and he's
mm.
given comics and stuff to some of his students. So I figured if he wants to read them or give them away, I figured I'd just give them to him to kind of pass on.
Oh, cool, interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Okay,
He
so
had some kids when he was doing the library at one of the schools.
mhm.
Um, when he was doing the library at one of the schools, he brought in Alan Moore's Swamp Thing because I gave him a short list of some things, and he said
Wow.
one of the Chinese students, this boy, absolutely fell in love with it. So he's telling me, he's like, he would come and talk to me about it, and he absolutely fell in love with it. So it's amazing to kind of like get some of those stories out there to kind of
Yeah.
a different culture completely, right? That might
Right.
not be exposed to it. So it's
Mhm.
pretty cool that he had an opportunity to do stuff like that.
That's cool. It's especially very impressed. So I'm not going to talk to you about those things you haven't read yet because we have the same in pool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have one
Yeah,
more book.
right.
I have
Yeah,
one
go
more
ahead.
book. You have
Mm-hmm.
how many you have
Um,
on your
what do
time?
I have?
I'm conscious about your time. What time you have to said you leave?
I've got to go soon, and like, so yeah, you
Mhm.
go ahead because the other ones I don't really have too much to say about. I've only read a couple of more things, but
Okay.
go
So
ahead.
my one is the
Oh,
the price increased salmon twitch. So it's
oh,
$3.99
right.
now.
That's a good cover.
Yeah. The only thing I say, I liked every single issue I'm reading, but this story has been stretching way too much. There's not enough for me as a for single issue reading experience. I'm just not getting enough of tangible information and excitement to understand why everything is happening. It's becoming a little bit too overly delayed, in my opinion. The art still sticks to me really well. I'm really used to all this bubbles, whatever, bubbles, you speech things, they have it in this format. I like the dynamics of how they're trying to dissect this information. There's too many people playing in the same field, kind of thing. It feels, and everything needs to be kind of like resolved in a big, grandiose way. In my opinion, at least what I have a feel of this story so far, but it's not giving enough. I'm being a little bit more picky now. I'm going to be even more pickier because the price increase. It was very easy not to be picky when it was just $2.99. To be quite very honest with you, it's actually kind of interesting, the feel of the story when you read, when you suddenly have to pay a higher price amount for the single issue. So, but the writing is still good. But I just want something to grab on to understand why Twitch is being accused of murder, who's behind the people who is basically taking drugs, die, then wake up for 2 days and die again. And they kind of like, Sam is trying to find out. He understands who maybe is doing it, and the people he thinks is behind it is those big pharmaceuticals companies, like those who is basically puts their hands in everywhere. They support a lot of organizations. There's so many people who got involved who's getting benefits from it. They're also doing some extra work for homeless people, and those the people are apparently become like a kind of test subjects behind the closed doors, and basically both Sam and Twitch cannot find the way to find the solutions. I still, as I say, enjoying it a hell of a lot, but I would like to be having more informations. It's everything goes really. I really love that he's driving old school cars, by the way, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
This is like an old school, what looks like Chevrolet, maybe like a typical American old school car, or Cadillac type of a look of the car. Anyway, so a bit more like Sam has more things happen to him, but there's one big thing happens in here. Sam gets stabbed in the abdomen while chasing somebody away, which that can entail something really bad, but I'm not sure how much we'll see it in next issue. And we kind of in a way get reveal in the last page of somebody who he found the details and cards from. So yeah, I am enjoying it, but I'm not sure how far. Next issue.
Sorry, messages from wife coming through.
Next issue cover looks great, which I think I was already out. I'm kind of behind this one, but I wanted to get all.
I love that cover a lot. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's I didn't realize there's a silhouette of the man with the knife, which actually happens in here. So intriguing. Actually, he has a scythe. The guy I'm talking in the back page, I didn't want to show because he just came out. Well, I just read it. I want to really do too much of spoilers, but there's this guy with those like circle scythe kind of wielding things and killing people, and Sam is in the crosshairs with that person. So talking about it, kind of, yeah, I got some more information, but it's not enough. I want more resolving. Yeah, right. Like I need grasp on something.
Well, and that's kind of in line with what we were just talking about. I mean, some books, there's this idea that you need to stretch things out. It's about, and I guess it's the same tired old argument that all of us have at some point, that writing for the trade or writing for a, it's like write for the story. Don't write for the format. Like, what does the story need? And sometimes it's apparent when people are stretching things out. I think there's probably a natural storytelling thing that happens with 6 issues that breaks down into those different acts or whatever, 3-act structure, two issues for each act or whatever. But I think sometimes that happens though. There's this idea that good storytelling leaves a lot of mystery and keeps you kind of wanting. And it's like, well, not necessarily. you got to give us something to have us kind of want to continue, right? So
Yeah, you have to latch on something, you know.
yeah, it's got to
You have
give us
you like
something.
that back page. Yes, you gave me a guy, but it's not the big guy who is supposed to be
Yeah.
behind it. It's just one of the players, and it's not enough. You know, you have to hint
Mhm.
of give like there's lots of mistake now. Okay, he got knifed, right? Simon got knifed, so
Mhm.
will he survive? Blah blah blah. Because by the cover of next one is kind of he's on in the graveside. Is he the one who's gonna be there, or somebody else is gonna be, or he's just a cover? You know, like you never know in the comic book.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you need more. You know, you need to
Yeah.
entice the person to question first of all the story, which I am. I love detective storylines, but I've read it quite many of them to understand how the story sometimes goes, and I know that they should provide more information, or at least my brain saying to, like, give me more. You know, like I'm not really understand what's really at stake. I know life's at stake and the person's job is at stake, but it's kind of part of it because they assign on Twitch and they will usually get in kind of sort of troubles and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
you know, it's really good, but it's not like 100% fantastic. And yes,
Yeah,
I
right.
am judging it even more because the price tag has increased. Because at the end of the day, if the story won't click for me by single issues, maybe I'm debating whether I have to go just and continue reading in trade, because honestly, it's way cheaper
Mhm.
to read in trades. A lot of stuff, especially now these days with the prices of single issue. Trade is becoming. I mean, they're increasing the price of trade as well. I don't know if you have noticed, like Omnibuy is becoming more pricey.
I haven't really
Um,
noticed. No.
the release of those and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting how things happen. Anyway, so you
Mhm.
have another last one to say? You have to.
No, I'll just show you this one though, because
Well,
I
yeah, I've been
got this.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
SpongeBob comics. If anybody hasn't read SpongeBob comics,
I haven't.
you're missing out. It's a really great series.
My son
This
would
one
go.
has a bonus of they do a reprint of issue number 1. So my son
Ooh.
was getting these when they came out. So we
Oh,
have the first, I don't know how many.
so they're
Um,
out of print, right?
they're actually they're fetching apparently pretty crazy prices these days.
Oh
And
no.
the thing that I love about this series is the kind of they have a bunch of different artists doing stuff. They even have like Tony Millionaire from Sock Monkey, that Sock Monkey guy,
Mm-hmm.
doing one of the stories. And in this one, there's a whole bunch of pinups by a bunch of different artists.
Uh-huh.
And it's SpongeBob. SpongeBob was one of my favorite
What?
cartoons. I always thought it was hilarious. And the comic just does a really good job of kind of keeping that kind of absurd humor.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like a collection of a bunch of stories from the single issues in kind of this nice slipcase. But at the end, you get some pinups and some art and things like
Dude.
that. So
Oh,
that's Tim Truman, actually, Timothy Truman from
oh
Scout
no.
fame and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Who else do we have?
So is this a recent release?
I don't know if it's a recent release.
Check
I don't know
the.
when this came out. I'll tell you in 1 second. Let's see if there's
Mhm.
any. James Kochalka is in here on this side. They do, like a Justice League kind of parody cover there. So who else? There's a couple of other names. Sergio Aragones doing a pinup. My man Dave Cooper doing a piece of art in his
Dude.
extremely Dave Cooper way. That's such a Dave Cooper face on SpongeBob. So it's so good, man. This came out in, let's see the front here. This is 2017 when this collection came out. So he must have kind of got this. It was on kind of like where he usually has the new releases, the new trade paperbacks and stuff. So
Mhm.
this one was obviously one that's been there for a little bit. But if you haven't read SpongeBob, it's worth getting. Nice little slipcase as well too. So nice work on it. So yeah, it's really fun. I started looking up what the prices are on some of the SpongeBob books, and they are going for pretty crazy prices online. But those are in my son's collection. Those are ones that he can hold on to.
312 for 6 comics, I think. Wait,
Yeah, there's some crazy prices when I was looking last night.
been enjoying the talking, getting stuff done. Thanks for great day.
Thanks, Donald Rex. Yeah, and I've got to get going too because I got to go pick Lil up from this party.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. My son is obsessed
Nice.
with SpongeBob, so that would be quite good because he watches.
I mean,
cartoon
keep an eye
daily.
out for it. It wasn't that expensive. Like it was cover price, $30 or something like that for this hardcover.
Yeah.
It says $35.95 Canadian, 21 pound or 22 pounds, or 22 pounds, not 22 euros, 22 pounds.
Cool. I'll keep an eye out. All right.
Right on.
Thanks, people. Let's hope we
Thanks,
see
everybody.
each other
Thanks for watching.
next week, maybe. Yeah.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I think it should work out. Now that this show is wrapping up, I should be good again for Sundays. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Bye, people. Thanks for tuning in.